This is Todd Steed. Welcome to Studio 865. Today we have Scott Miller, the esteemed singer-songwriter, performer extraordinaire. Would you agree with all of that?
I'm a song and dance man, yes I am.
Okay, well we may have you dance here a little bit later. How's your 08 and how was your 07?
07 was good. It was I spent a lot of time on the road, and so 08 is going to be nice because I'm home and writing.
Yeah,
that's my job now.
Are you writing letters, songs?
Supposedly songs. What rhymes with dove?
Shove?
You know? Yeah, thank you. Just doing my best. At this point, I'm like, just trying to go in and do like 3 pages a day of anything. Just like I've got a couple of loops or something, songs, and I'll just put them on the CD player and just try to write 3 pages. It doesn't matter what it is. Then after that for a week maybe, then I'll go back and start trying to hack at it.
And where do you do this?
Fort Sanders, the only place to write.
And tell me why did you decide to go to Fort Sanders and you rented a room and all that?
Well, mainly because I've spent 100-some days on the road last year, and I finally come home and the wife is redoing the house, so there's no place to work. So I rented just a little 1-room apartment down there. And it's kind of nice to get up in the day, have some place to go and write, and then, record what you've done at the end of the day, listen to it on the way home, then go home.
And do you go in with ideas, little sketches, or do you ever just take something from scratch and go at it?
Both. I mean, it depends on how desperate. Like, I'm probably going to start recording in February, so right now it's like a term paper. Plenty of time. I got plenty of time. But, like you probably do too, I keep a little notebook of if lyric ideas hit me or whatever, and usually just a little cassette if I hear a melody or a hook or something, and then it's just a matter of sort of building them.
And how do you know when they're done? Like, how do you know
when they don't make you puke?
Or the audience.
Or that too.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're never really done. I like to edit. I love to have as much time as I can. A lot of people like to write and then go straight and take it out, but I like to sit on them if I can, and live with them.
Do you feel like how you feel about the songs changes over time, especially ones you say you wrote 10 years ago?
No. Well, I don't know though. Certainly some do, and you can recognize yourself in some, or not recognize yourself. In other words, like, oh wow, that was a different time. I don't know. If you write them good enough, and my goal is always trying to write something that would live forever. Something sort of timeless instead of timely.
Mess of This Town, is that autobiographical?
I lived it. Yeah. Well, the Townes Van Zandt saying reality doesn't rhyme.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part. Knoxville ain't that big of a town. Hello there, Knoxville, or students, or whoever you are. My name is Scott Miller. This is a song called I Made a Mess of This Town. I made a mess of this town. Now every sidewalk crack either knocks me down or breaks somebody's back. And every face I see as I look around says it's time to leave. I made a mess of this town. There's some people you meet, then there's people you know. Some keep you on your feet, some don't let them go. That's why I sit at the bar and I dream of the day that I get the means to mean what I say. I'm gonna leave this town in a cloud of dust with a 50-cent lighter and a whiskey buzz. And then there'll be a day when I come back around. But when asked why, I'll say it's 'cause I made a mess.
Do you have any superstitions or rituals that you go through when you go into that Fort Sanders? Is there some special gas that comes out of the graves of the Union soldiers there or something?
No. Just go in, put your head down, and get to work. You know, and realize, I think the hardest part of probably any creative endeavor is, well, one, you want to edit, but nothing's off limits. Nothing. There are no rules. You know, and you really, you know, when you're starting to write and you've got a verse, you're like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be like, or whatever. You got to make sure you just keep it going. Yeah. At least I try to. But.
And when you take a song out live, is it finished, or do you find that after you've played it live a few times that, this isn't what I thought, or? I'll
restructure them. Usually, I'd like to have lyrics done before I take it out, and have sat with it long enough on that. But like I say, sometimes you're desperate. You need new songs, and there's one or two I've got that I kind of tweak as we go along.
You've got a pretty impressive back catalog. So when you go out, yes, you brought it within a suitcase. And when you're out there playing and you try new songs, do you find your audience is open to that, or?
Oh yeah, because they're really sick of everything else that I've ever written. You know, it's been a while. It's not like when you do this for a living, it's different. You know, before when I'd write all the time. I always had extra songs. You know, and now it's like, you know, I need an album's worth of songs, and that means you need more than you think you need, because some songs aren't going to come out when you record and stuff. So,
and
I hate to sound like it's a drudgery or anything, because it's not. I mean,
do you enjoy it? I mean, isn't that a great feeling, finishing something you went, hey?
Oh, yeah, man. I always say it's like, it's better than any drug in the world, man. When you finish a song and it captures what you wanted and you grew in yourself or something, you know.
It's better than aspirin?
It's even better than ibuprofen, yeah.
Wow. That is a high.
It's the bee's knees. This next record, it's like I really want to make something different than I've ever made. Maybe even sonically different. I want to write lyrically different. I've been trying to really stretch because, like, you know, you get bored with yourself. It's anything creative, you need to be moving forward.
So we're looking at tubas.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Tuba players, if you're out there, call us at BR5.
I don't know. I have a producer lined up for it. It's this guy Doug Lancio who did all Patty Griffin stuff. He did Robin Ellis, did their record. And his production is a lot more mood kind of stuff, you know.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like what's the Steve Martin joke? The Apple Pie Hubbub was a significant novel for me because I first started using verbs. My book's really brightened up after that.
There's going to be a lot of verbs and tubas.
I'm going to let reverb on my records. I don't know. It's just going to try to see what I can come up with that might get on the radio.
All right. I don't think you'll have a problem.
Well, we'll see. All
right. We'll make a bet.
It's a tough world.
Tough world. Tough world. Let me ask you about a couple of songs.
All right.
Say Ho. Mm-hmm. How tough was that to write? Because you're basically condensing a man's entire life into 3.5 minutes.
And it's not finished. I think there needs to be Sam Houston, of course, what the song's about. I think there needs to be a Say Ho. I was going to call it Say Ho Again. Because it kind of leads off where he gets run out of Texas, run out of the governor's office. And he spent those years drinking, but there's some time there that should be noted.
He was born in Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley, right about the time that this country got free. And when his father died, they left, packed it up and headed west. the hills that put the east in Tennessee. Say ho. Well, the man has got to make his mark, and the Second British War did start. He was bored, so he joined and went along. He took an arrow in the hip, a ball in the shoulder, but he never quit. He was full of fight when they finally dragged him home. Say ho. Reading Homer to some Cherokee maidens. If you know how Tennessee is in the fall, you're not gonna make your dreams epic. Why bother to dream anything at all? Well, he met a man named Andy Jack who put him on the Nashville map, but even then that town could piss you off. He partied hard and ran the state and found a girl to take his name, and they still don't know why he up and left it all. 'Cause he say ho. Trust nobody when you're drinking, lest you get insulted or rolled. You drink too much, you'll pickle up your instincts, and then you can't trust anyone at all. Half mystic and half showman, half poet and half sage, and way too stubborn to admit defeat. Although Texas was no state, San Jacinto was the place, and destiny was ready to be seized. Say no. Well, Texas, he created you, and 3 times he did save you too, and tried to help you make it on your own. You joined the Union anyway, and when he thought you should stay, you turned your back on him and sent him home. Is there anyone still left so full of honor you could trust everything you heard? Texas, anywhere that you may wander, Sam Houston was the man that kept his word. He did.
In a lot of ways, it's one of my favorites on the record. And is it a fan favorite outside of Texas?
Yeah, it's one of those, we don't do it much because a lot of words and they're hard to remember when you're, into your set sometimes. But yeah, I like history songs like that, and embarrass like the early Al Stewart stuff that I love so much. Document and Manuscript and all those albums are killer.
And The Rain is another classic example of a historical song
That was a complete accident. I wrote that thing in 10 minutes. It was a complete accident.
It's not bad that it only took 10
No,
minutes.
I mean, some of them do come that way. But
You
yeah,
got
I was
time
like,
for lunch.
I had got up. I was still working at the law office at that time, and I was like, I had to go to work. I was like, the rain, la la la. Just sort of wrote it out. And deal with it when I get home.
Yeah, and did you write that in Fort Sanders since it's a Civil War?
No,
song?
I wrote that in Louisville when I lived out in Blount County.
There's also some gases coming out of the ground down there.
Yeah,
Of a different type, I would think.
PJ's Landing.
What about Ciderville Saturday Night? That seems to be one of the most concise, great, paint a picture of a moment in time songs or an evening.
Complete accident as well.
Yeah.
V-Roys were still together, and we were recording in Nashville, and for some reason, Mick and Paxton had brought a weight bench down.
Weight bench?
Yeah, they were going to lift weights during when we were in the studio.
I'm sure they did that every day.
Yeah, because that's why I was like, I went in there. I was like, what in the world? Knock the dust off of it, and I sat down on it with a guitar and sort of caught that lick, and then it wrote itself from there.
Well, I'm out on the dance floor, have a good time dancing with the girl who is not mine. Her beau gets mad and we shake hands. Leave that bar's on the best friends can. Ciderville, 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 Saturday night. Ciderville, 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 Saturday night. Take out 2 car and smoke a little wood, makes the band sound better and the girls look good. Just 2 sips from a Fort Marks jar keeps the bass sound round and the band so sharp. Ciderville, 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 Saturday night. Ciderville, 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 Saturday night. Then they play. On Saturday night, the only thing I praise, and baby looks right and comes the other way. I'm heading back home in my own time to a CD changer and a strip mall shine. Saturday night. Ciderville, 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 Saturday night. See you out there.
What happened to the weight bench?
It sat there and grew dust. You know those guys.
The most exercise they got was lifting the weight bench into the studio.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
That's still ambitious. Daddy Raised a Boy. I think that's one of your best.
Thanks. I like that song.
It's an incredible piece of work, and I don't like calling it work. It's a song.
Right.
How did you feel about when you finished that one? Did you say, well, that was a great song, I'll never play this one live, or you seem kind of fearless about it in a sense, even with your dad in the audience, perhaps?
And that was one of the first times they'd ever seen me play.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Here's one for
and,
you.
it was even funny because I played it, first time I did it with the theater in Maryville, Palace Theater.
I was at that show.
I broke a string like on the introduction of it. I was like, is that a sign? I shouldn't be doing this song, but I did it. My dad, he likes that song. I was reading a bunch of Ernest Gaines novels at that time, and they're always about a boy to a man transition in his books, you know.
Yeah.
Larry Brown, same way. Well, he's got one called Father and Son, but Ernest Gaines was when I saw I got that idea.
My old man could be your dad's old man. He lied about his age to fight Japan. It wasn't long before he came back home. He had some help from the atom bomb. Back in Allentown where my dad worked, they drank a cold one before they changed their shirts. And every drunken word was his command. The standing order was to understand that he don't care about nothing else, only what he's got to tell himself. Where everybody does the best they can. My daddy raised a boy and not a man. I was young and hungry when I left home, hungry just for something to be hungry for. I had to prove that I could make my way, no matter who it hurt or price I paid. I didn't care about nothing else, only what I had to tell myself. 'Cause looking back I start to understand, my daddy raised a boy and not a man. Nothing, 'cause that's what I gave. And when I look into my father's eyes, we both see someone we can recognize. He sees a young man who has lost his way. I look at him, I swear I see the same. Now I don't care about nothing else, only what I got to tell myself. Hey, everybody do the best you can. Daddy raised a boy and not a man.
when can we expect, or should we expect something like another record? And
Well, if Scotty's going to eat, he better get this thing out in the spring or early summer.
Yeah.
You know, because that's especially in today's climate. I mean, that's how touring and selling of records is how I eat.
Have you noticed a change in audiences over the last? You've been touring a bit, so have you noticed a change in the last few years of how the audiences are, or how people are out there in America? You get to see a lot more of it than most people, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. For a while there, my audience was getting older, but then the last year or something, it sort of picked up where there's a bunch of kids coming out again. Makes me feel like an old man.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? There's music fans. There's always been music fans, fans of live music. I think anywhere. Some towns are better for it than others, you know. But there's always going to be that core amount of people. And I think if you can reach them, which with the internet today and everything, you can reach these people, you can sell them your wares and make a living. It's not going to be like, you know, Britney Spears or anything. This is different.
Well, she's got her own career. Now it has nothing to do with music or entertainment. I
want to pray for her.
Well, you should. I think more than all you can muster up for. I don't know. There's this episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David. No, it's not. It was on some HBO Last Comic Standing or one of these programs where he came out and he looked at the audience and he just went, "No," and he walked off stage. And he really did that. I'm sure you've never had that kind of reaction. But what's one of your worst? Because most of your on-stage experiences, I've been to a lot of your shows, they're usually pretty good.
You try to make them good, yeah.
What's one of your worst ones? Not to scrape the bottom.
No, I'm trying to think. How about this? Green Bay, Wisconsin County Fair.
All right.
They didn't get me.
Is that November?
It was cold. Well, I mean, it's always cold, and there's 4 million bars up there, and I've never been to Green Bay before, but there's some hillbilly rednecks up there. And they didn't get me. They didn't like it at all. That was pretty bad.
So what do you do when you walk out there and they're not getting it? I've been in these situations like after the first song you realize that we're not going to be getting along too well. But where do you go from there? Do you attack the audience or just get through?
Yeah, I try not to do that anymore, Todd.
I haven't learned my lesson.
I haven't either at times. You know, this summer I played at. Big outdoor thing at the zoo in Portland, Oregon. They have a music series there.
Yeah.
Big, couple thousands of people and stuff. And it started raining, and they all pulled out their gear, all their outerwear, you know. Yeah. And I was like, good God, LL Bean's going to make a lot of money off you folks today. Not realizing that that's the home of Columbia outerwear.
Yeah. Probably a lot of employees were out in the audience.
Yeah, people booed. And I got I sold like 4 CDs that, to a 5,000 festival
that
crowd.
Some kid stepped on, or it's like the Beatles, the CDs.
Yeah. So I don't know. You always find a way of falling back in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Honestly, if your songs are good enough, you could always find shelter there.
Yeah.
Just close your eyes and sing your song.
It's a good place to hide.
Yeah.
This one's a work in progress called "Girls Don't Grow." Here we go. Girls don't grow out of your ribs no more, but she's by my side. She's still mine. Before I know, she's wearing all my clothes and I can't find. She's still mine. Ain't no doubt about it. I couldn't live without her by my side. Love's so stubborn. You find yourself in trouble if you try. Fuss and fume, driving dogs out of the room. But she speaks her mind. She's still mine. Ain't no doubt about it. Without her by my side. Love so subtle, you find yourself in trouble if you try. Girls don't grow out of your ribs no more, but she's by my side. She's still mine.
Well, Scott Miller, thank you very much for coming down into
This is fairly painless.
Yeah, except for putting the bricks up. We actually got the bricks put up a little bit earlier this evening, and it felt good to get those.
I like the posters.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that mainly go RB.
Yeah, those were picked out by the Yeehaw people. They picked them out.
Yeehaw, located on Gay Street.
Knoxville, Tennessee. The New Orleans of Central Knoxville.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing your tunes and also spinning some tunes later.
Amen.
All right.
Go Vols.